Anybody out there hear about the Informed Consumers Act that was put into legislation, or at least introduced to legislation back in March? I hadn't until maybe an hour ago. And I did some reading on it, and I'm not liking what I see. And it's something that will affect almost every seller who's serious about reselling on, regardless of the platform you're looking at reselling on. So without any further ado, let's go. Welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin' Ain't Easy. Honestly, I hadn't planned on making a video today at all. I was going to take the weekend off, but an email came through my phone. I'm out here and visiting family in Southern California, and I come across an email sent by eBay, and it was one of those emails where they're, I guess, sort of making aware of this particular problem, this potential problem that we all are going to be dealing with. And it's this Informed Consumers Act that was introduced into legislation. It's a bipartisan bill that was introduced into legislation by Dick Durbin. He's a Democrat senator out of Illinois, and Bill Cassidy, a Republican senator out of Louisiana. And the gist of the bill is that they are concerned about the reselling that's currently going on, not only on eBay but other platforms, and they're concerned about the counterfeiting of goods that are, I guess, in their mind, prevalent. And honestly, I don't think that's the case. They're also worried about stolen goods, rings of, I guess, criminals out there who are reselling stolen goods on eBay and other platforms. And between the counterfeiting and, I guess, these stolen goods rings, at least that's what their gist of their argument is. They are finding the need to put into legislation the requirement for all online marketplaces, that's eBay, Etsy, Mercari, you name it, and even the smaller ones. They're going to be classifying all third-party high-volume sellers, and that's any seller that has 200 sales and at least $5,000 in sales for the entire year. So that's a lot of you guys out there. And you're going to be designated as a high volume seller. Okay? And if you are a high volume seller, if this bill passes, you're going to be required to provide each of the online sites with your personal information, your tax ID or your social security number, your government ID, your checking account information. Now, what I find funny is that we've already provided that to eBay for managed payments. So I'm wondering if eBay may have known about this, coming down the horizon, and maybe they're saving face by trying to fight it. Maybe they knew it was happening, and they're still trying to fight it because it's not good for their business. Maybe they didn't know about it at all, but I just kind of find it funny that this was all required for us to enroll in managed payments, which was not optional. And that's not all. There's a couple other things that this bill is going to require us high sellers or high volume sellers to do. And that is, we'll have to certify annually with the online site like eBay that our information is correct, meaning that we have to give them that information again every year. Otherwise, we're facing an account suspension. And the worst part of all this is that if you are deemed as a third-party, high-volume seller on these platforms, you may have to provide in your listing, each of your listings. So if you have 1,000 listings, it's going to have to appear 1,000 times in each listing. It's going to have to show your name, your address, your email, your phone number on every listing you have on each of these sites. Now, this, like I said, it's a bipartisan bill. There's quite a bit of support from people on both sides of the aisle. This is not a political video at all, and it's not designed to be. So please, I want you guys to comment down below, but don't comment about Democrats this, Republicans that, because this is not that channel, okay? This is to create awareness, and whomever your senator or your representatives are in Congress, you guys need to go and send a letter to your congressman to tell them this is not acceptable. There should have been an email that eBay sent out today that has a link to a letter they've already created. You need to fill that out and submit it so that you are on record as disputing this. Now, a lot of times, what good does it do? I don't know. A lot of times, you know, congressmen will get letters from their constituents, and that may persuade them to either vote for it or vote against it. Just so you know, this is also endorsed by companies such as 3M, CVS Health, the Home Depot, Lowe's, Levi Strauss, Rite Aid, Walgreens, amongst a lot of other organizations and companies that are supporting this. And it's a shakedown. It's a shakedown of third-party online resellers. I really think that the thought is, in my mind, that these companies believe that we're infringing on their business. What better way than to discourage sellers like you and I from even bothering to sell on the platform? And the biggest problem for me is the idea of all this personal information in the listings. Now, I did read something to the effect of that would only be required if you did not communicate with your buyers in a timely manner. And I know for some that might be a problem. And if you didn't communicate, I don't know what the standards would be, but if you're deemed as someone who doesn't communicate in a timely manner or follow through with your communications with your buyer, you would be required to provide your name, address, phone number, email in every listing. And you know, we already deal with customers who actually intend on buying with our item that I wouldn't want having that information, let alone anyone who just randomly clicks on my listing. So that's what I have for you today. It's sort of serious, otherwise I wouldn't have made this video. It's funny that this was introduced back in March and I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anyone talk about it on YouTube. I haven't heard anything until eBay sent out this email, and I'm very concerned by it. So please comment down below. While you're at it, hit that like button, subscribe, and of course hit that notification bell. And again, I'm hoping you guys have a great weekend, but don't sleep on this. Not only comment down below, but please follow through and send a message to your representatives in Congress that this is not acceptable. And so with that, I wish you guys a great weekend, and always remember, never forget, it's things like this that reinforce the idea that flipping ain't easy. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys very soon.